You've been mopping the same floor for years, and every time you finish, the water comes back. See, sometimes we as men spend years managing the symptoms of our thinking. We deal with the anxiety the moment it spikes. We push down the insecurity when it shows up. We fight the same battle, and we win, and then we fight it again next week, and the week after that. But we never ask the most important question: where is the water coming from? Because you cannot fix a leak by mopping the floor. You find the source, you trace it, you cut it off at the root. And that's what this video is about today. If you're ready to stop managing and start building, then I need you to lock in with me. Welcome back to the Holistic Man Podcast. I'm Jeffrey Clay Smith II, and today we're going deep into the construction phase of the Train Framework. If you haven't seen part 1 of this series, I want to encourage you to go back because what you're doing today builds on a foundation already laid. But here's what you need to know right now. The Train Framework moves in 2 directions. The gate protects what enters. The construction forms what stays. And today we're in the construction. The very first tool, the one that every other step depends on. And that first tool is called trigger it. And we're tracing the origin of the thought. Here's what I know about destructive thought patterns. They do not start on the day you notice them. They started somewhere, in a moment, in a season, in a word spoken over you by someone who had no business defining your identity. And those thoughts have been running in the background of your life ever since, like a program you never consented to install. So the question is not just what am I thinking? The question is, when did I start believing this? The psalmist David wrote something in Psalm 139, 23, and 24 that I want you to hear carefully. He said, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my anxieties, and see if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." That is not a passive prayer. That is an active invitation to a surgical excavation. David was not asking God to show him his highlight reel. He was asking God to go deep into the places David himself was afraid to look. And that is what triggering requires, not condemnation, curiosity. So here's the process. 3 steps, practical, clear. Step 1, identify the reoccurring thought. Not every thought needs a full excavation. But if a thought keeps showing up, the same fear, the same ceiling, the same self-assessment, that is the one. Write it down, make it concrete. It might sound like, I always fall apart under pressure, or I'm not the man my family needs, or I will never break this pattern. Don't clean it up, don't soften it, write it exactly the way you hear it in your own head. Step 2, ask the origin question. When did you first believe this? Not when you first noticed it, not when it first bothered you. When did you first accept it as truth? For some of us men, it traces back to a coach who told you that you didn't have what it takes, a father who showed up, or a mother who was vicious with her words. And the silence taught you something about your own worth. A failure so defining you turned it into a life sentence. Hebrews 4:12 tells us the word of God is living and active, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the division of soul and spirit, discerning the thoughts and intentions of the heart. That word can reach the places no strategy can touch, but you have to be willing to look. Step 3, separate the event from the conclusion. This is where most of us as men stay stuck. We remember the event, and we accept the conclusion the enemy drew from it as if it were inevitable. A father left. That is the event. But I am unlovable. That is a conclusion. Conclusions are not facts. They are simply interpretations. And interpretations can be revived. Yes, the event happened, but the meaning you assign to it, that is the battlefield. So what conclusion have you been treating as fact? Here's the core truth I need you to carry out of this video. You cannot demolish what you refuse to locate. A builder cannot tear down a wall he refuses to acknowledge. A surgeon cannot remove what he will not see. A man cannot be free from a wound he will not trace. Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for from everything you do flows from it. Everything flows from the heart, which means if there is something broken at the source, it flows into your relationships, your leadership, your calling, your identity. Triggering is not about being so introspective you become paralyzed. It is about being honest enough to say, something is living in my thinking that God did not put there, and I want to find it, and I want to be free. That is not weakness. That is courage. That is the kind of man God can build something lasting with. So let's put some real life application to this. So here's a real life thought that many of us may have. And I know for a fact that I have said this many times. I always self-sabotage. That's a real life thought. We carry this one. It shows up differently in each of us, but it shows up in ways like missed deadlines, broken commitments, pull punches right at the edge of a breakthrough. So then we have to identify it. I always self-sabotage. Right when things get good, I destroy them. So write it exactly that way. Then we ask the origin. When did we first believe we were someone who destroys good things? For many of us, it traces to an early season, a moment of trust broken, a relationship damaged, a responsibility failed. The moment we concluded, I ruined things. So then we separate the event from the conclusion. The failure was real, but I am a saboteur by nature. That is the conclusion. And that conclusion has been sitting in the driver's seat of our decisions ever since. Invisible, unchallenged, expensive. When you trigger it, you pull it out of the dark. You stop letting it operate invisibly, and you set the table for the next step in construction. So your challenge this week is simple. Find one reoccurring thought, write it down exactly the way you hear it, then ask the origin question. When did I first believe this? Don't rush it. Don't clean it up. Just be honest. Because the man who is willing to look is the man who gets to heal. And the man who heals gets to build. Behavior follows belief. Belief follows thought. And thought follows training. So let's train it together. Let's keep building. God bless.
With a gentle hand, God make me a holistic man.